Oh my gosh, and we are back live again. It's been a week, right? So I know you guys all missed these live conversations, but this time it's not a brewery thing. Um, I'm still Mike. I haven't changed my name, but you know, instead of just talking to breweries, I decided that I think we should talk to some beer people, right? Because why would it just be a brewery thing? There's actually consumers that go to bars and restaurants and breweries and brew pubs and liquor stores that are the ones that are drinking, these amazing beers that I have sitting behind me on this shelf, on the wall, I should say, that don't exist in the last 30 or 40 years. So ignoring all that ridiculousness, um, I am here with a bunch of people that I'm going to flip this little thing on, and I'm going to introduce everybody. So first off, we have Rob here. Say hi.
Hi guys, Rob Bedford here. I run a beer blog called The Tap Takeover, and I drink a lot of beer and I write about it. So right now I'm drinking Icarus's Schwarzbier upside down side.
Inside and outside.
It's all about the lagers for me.
Sometimes they make some interesting names of beers. I like those Icarus guys. I think that might have been the last time I saw you, Rob. Was at the Build Me Up Butternut release in 2019, maybe?
No, it was Jersey Cyclone the week
before
Jersey
Cyclone.
shutdown.
The week before pandemic, right. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The more recent before times.
Yes. That whole year was a blur. Who knows? Craziness, right? But that's okay. We're going to get back to, going out soon and seeing humans outside of screens, right? Can't we all hope?
Hopefully.
Yeah. And now we got Leia here. She is in the take it away. Tell us where you're from and what you're all about in like 10 seconds, and we'll jump back in.
Yeah. I'm Leah. I run a candle company called Craft Brew Candle Co. And I am right here in Belmar, New Jersey. And tonight I am drinking my favorite brewery, Kane, and my favorite style, an IPA.
Look at that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Kane does, and they just reopened this past weekend. We'll probably be able to touch on some of that for outside, which is wonderful for them. I'm glad. I saw friends that were there this past weekend, so that's cool. And Eric, I think I ran into you actually like unexpectedly two or 3 months ago, and it was freezing outside. But say hi and tell everyone what you're all about.
Hi everybody, Eric Dangaleghi. I'm a beer tender at Source Farmhouse Brewing in beautiful Colts Neck, New Jersey. I'm also a Cicerone certified beer server there as well. I've been with NJCB since 2018. Love beer, and I'm sipping on Source's Ottoman Baklava, which is our pastry stout, conditioned on a whole bunch of nice roasted nuts and some other fancy adjuncts of cinnamon, vanilla, all that good stuff. So cheers, everybody.
That sounds really fancy. Awesome.
Cheers.
I don't think I got that one, but then again, I just have a lot of beer that I've been drying. I stopped down to I was teasing it out there to you guys before. And if you pay attention to the NJCB Instagram or read the email I blasted out today, you would have seen that I made a little collab, or I started to work on a collab yesterday, and there's a couple NJCB collabs that should be coming out in the near future. So that's pretty fun, and I'm excited for all that kind of stuff to come through, because like I said before, it's really God, I want to go and do events again. Don't you guys? Don't you want to safely, of course, but like, don't you want to like get out the house a bit, and not have it like full of
I have been an attendee of the Asbury Park Beer Fest since it started. I went when I was pregnant too. DD ticket. So
there you go.
Yeah.
But like I've never missed a beer fest there, and it's just I'm like
Yeah, it's hard to not. There's a couple coming up. I mean, like there's going to be the one at Raceway Park coming up. There's going to be the one at in Morristown, I think it is. Maybe Morristown.
Yeah.
I think it's Morristown. And then I'll be judging that one, the Beer and Barbecue and Bacon Fest. I'll be judging that one, which is great because I missed last year's, obviously, thanks COVID. But it should be pretty fun. And then there's Atlantic City Beer Fest coming up in June, and with things on the up and up, I'm hoping that everything else starts to reopen. We were talking about like beers, and like I had this idea of like, oh well, we can't have 100 people, 100% capacity inside everything, right? So like, how do we think about these events and doing them safely and with meeting COVID compliance and everything else? So some of the ideas that, if you read the email I sent out earlier, were like, oh cool, like there's gonna be something coming down the line that is a collab and blah blah, and there'll be some interesting ways of getting around these little rules by getting the breweries to open on days they're not open typically. So limiting, changing things and allowing early access for NJCB members and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool to be able to like talk to beer people about those things, and like talk to beer people about what beers they like, and kind of like hear input. And obviously for those tuning in live, feel free to comment on everything, that you want to, and ask some questions. If you do, I can pop up on the screen. For those that didn't authenticate through your StreamYard Facebook link and your name shows up as Facebook user on my end here, I'm sorry. I wish it showed up with your real name, but like Eric, you got some fans out there, but Facebook user says you're my man. I'm sure later on the group you can see who that actually was, but unfortunately on the public side we can't. On the private side here we can't see it until they authenticate. Anyway, tell me about that Schwartz beer you're drinking, Rob. How is it?
It's delicious. I mean, a lot of breweries seem to be making them now. Tonewood's got a great one. This one from Icarus is great, and just dark lagers in general seem to. I don't know. That's what I've really fallen in love with over the past few months. Ashton's got a great dark Czech lager, and they canned that one. And as soon as I saw it available, I picked it up. Those guys are doing a lot of good things overall at Ashton. They had their first anniversary this past weekend, and I outdoor, socially distanced, but they still had a nice crowd. I know that's veering away from the Schwartz beer, but it was a good gathering of people, and I never thought I'd have a beer aged in grappa barrels, but I did, because grappa is kind of disgusting. It tastes like kerosene, or at least it did to me when I had it.
Yeah, it's like the rendered down grapes, like multiple distilled grapes or something, right? Isn't that what grappa
It's kind of like the Spam of wine, I guess, because it's just the stuff that they never use. But it worked with a farmhouse ale. Those guys knew what they were doing. So
interesting.
But yeah, that was my latest beer event. So I'll step back and let our other two friends chime in.
Yeah, what tell us more. Wait, what kind of IPA was that? Like,
this one is called
style, or
Window Pane. Kane is really known for their IPAs, and I think they make some of the best in the state. And it doesn't hurt that they're only 7 minutes from my house.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
It is dangerous. Some weekends I'll make rounds where I go to Kane and Icarus and Bradley, and I'll end up back home and I will have spent over $300.
Yeah.
But I only do that when we're on our last 4-pack. So, and then I'm good for like a month. So
I was going to say, how long does it take you to get to that last 4-pack?
Yeah.
Depends on who comes over the last month.
It's true.
But no, their IPAs are good. I think they're great. This one is 6.8.
Yeah.
They just re-released this one. They don't have it all the time. So we just picked it up this last weekend. So if you like that one, it's available now.
Before you buy them all.
Right. I mean, I can't promise anything,
exactly.
because this is also a product investment for myself. So for those of you who don't know, I take craft beer bottles and cans and turn them into candles. And 90% of my beer cans and bottles are New Jersey, but they are 100% craft. And I'm offering a 15% never-ending discount to all members. Just if you check out my website and if you put in the code when you exit for your purchase, NJCB, you'll get 15% off your purchase. And I offer pickup as well.
Awesome. I'm adding that to the comment feed as we push this through on the on the live feed.
Yeah, and if you check out our website, you can find us all over, like face to face. Come and smell all our stuff all summer long.
That's awesome. You should make a beer with Eric's nuts. I mean, no, his beard that has nuts. I want to know what you were drinking, Eric. What was it again?
So this
there was a whole bunch of nuts, so I need to know what is in it because it sounds delicious.
Yeah. So this is one of our pastry stouts that we recently released about a month or so ago. It's called Ottoman Baklava. So the whole point was to replicate the baklava pastry.
Baklava. Got it.
So conditioned on pecans, hazelnuts, pistachios, fir farm, wildflower honey. So fortunately, we're right next to fir farm, so that's where we get all of our, some of our ingredients, including some wildflower honey that we've used in this one. We put it in our winter saison, our Colts nectar, which was a beautiful double IPA.
Double IPA.
There's some granola, Caribbean cacao, some cinnamon, and vanilla.
I love when they use that ingredient because it's just fun to say.
Cacao. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds delicious. I can't believe I missed that one.
It's not that sweet though. Doesn't sound like it's got any sweetness to it.
Oh,
no, not at all. It's not diabetically sweet at all.
No,
it's super great. Nice roastiness to it. It's 13%, so it's a nice cold weather beer like tonight. So it's perfect for that. Fortunately, I'm working at Source. We have, a very versatile, very wide array of different styles of beer on tap. And it's funny that you mentioned the Schwartz beer, Rob, because we actually had a Schwartz beer on tap up until last weekend, and we actually canned it. I would say like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was a delicious German dark lager.
Some of your beers are getting into Somerset County by me, so it's as soon as I saw the darks, the winter saison, that beer just wow.
Yeah,
that beer was amazing.
Rob, do you like Dunkels?
I love Dunkels.
I love Dunkels. I've been to Germany many times. I'm a big Dunkels.
I'm starting to hate you more and more. You live by King. You've been to Germany.
Yeah,
I know it's not Jersey.
Just come hang out. I mean, you're not that far.
Sure. I know it's not Jersey, but Von Trapp's Dunkel is really good.
Oh,
If you've had that one, it's a nice Dunkel.
Check it out.
Yeah, yesterday I went to I can say I went to Vinyl. That's where we made the collab yesterday. And there's also currently a collaboration beer being fermented at Old Heights. It wasn't. I'm not giving anything away yet, so I'm not telling you what style it is, but it's not a Dunkel. I'll tell you, neither brewery, neither one is a Dunkel. Neither one is an IPA. I'll give you that much.
Okay.
So, I love IPAs. Don't get me wrong, but like of them. So, personally, even though I drink them like every day, when I or that's my go-to, it's like I'm still sick of them. So we decided to make other collabs. But when I left, I went over to buy a couple beers while we were brewing and everything, and then went over to Chimney, which is Chimney Rustic Ales, which is like a couple blocks away in Hamilton, where there's the three, and then 3 Threes is also in town, but I didn't make it over there. Regardless, at Chimney, I had a delicious porter, and I was like, yes, thank you. And then I know Vinyl was they were releasing a porter sometimes in the near future that they were canning up. I think coming up or next, I can't remember the date, but I'm just like, yes, but it's like the weather shift, right? So you go from having these freezing cold temperatures to it's getting nice and being spring, so we want saison, but then we want like airy and refreshing and crisp and things like that. Then we want like when it's 80 degrees, we want like those as well. But then it turns into like it's 40 degrees outside again, and these Dunkels and their Schwarzbiers and anything like with a little bit of roast really just is so much more refreshing almost when it's colder, right? I don't know how you guys feel, but that's how I feel.
Well, they're light on the palate, but
they're very flavorful for like the low ABV they've got, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So Tonewood's Schwarzbier Blackbird, I think it's under 5%, and man, you would think it's higher, higher alcohol with how flavorful it is.
Rob, you like Icarus, right? Did you ever get a hold of their the Slam, the Dunkel that they made?
Slam Dunkel,
I missed that one. No, I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll bring it back.
Yeah, a friend of mine works.
Oh yeah, he always brings everything back.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a hookup there.
Put a little nudge in for yourself.
Yeah.
I could just text Jason and he'll ignore me.
Even so, I mean, the Wegmans by me gets them enough, so I'm not. It's like it's nice
Wegmans
to have
such a great selection.
Yeah, they really do, and it's funny. For the longest time, some breweries I was seeing some of the New Jersey breweries in some of the smaller independent stores around here, but lately I'm only seeing those same breweries in Wegmans for whatever reason, or the variety from those kinds of breweries in Wegmans. I don't know.
So some stuff. Well, like with the liquor stores, right, and specifically with, I know how it works with the bigger. How do I put this? Wegmans is not bigger, but they have a ridiculous amount of corporate mandates that the breweries have to comply with in order for them to get certain products. So, but at the same time, with the breweries, because of COVID, a lot of them have. Well, they all had to switch to canning. We already know that, but draft hopefully will be back soon, right? Like when these events start to happen again and bars start to open up.
Have so many growlers.
Yeah. So exactly. So what has to happen? What a lot of the breweries, they started either dialing in and tweaking their craft on their specific like big sellers, or repeating those brands and rebrewing them multiple times, because they're like, we had contracts for this, but we couldn't necessarily for these hops or these whatevers, but we couldn't necessarily try new things. So because they couldn't do a one batch, one-off, 7-barrel brew of it, they had to do like a 30, because they're like, we're going to maximize our tank space as much as possible, right? So a lot of guys had to do repeat beers, things like that, in order to be able to sell. And then the places like Wegmans or the Buy Rights or the whoever's, they wanted they buy in bulk, right? So then they have to like get bulk of whatever is available at that time. And people are buying from the breweries directly, but they're also still shopping all over the place for beer at liquor stores and things like that. So it's a crazy game right now for these guys, and I don't know how logistically the breweries are keeping up with it, because if I can't keep up with it, and I like keep up with a lot of it.
Like on Instagram to all the breweries that are like an hour from me, and they release stuff, and I'm like, can I get it at Wegmans? Because that's like the easiest way for me to get it, because it's so hard to, they have such limited hours and they're so far away. And I love the stuff that they put out. And it's, Wegmans is great because at least the one by me in Ocean, they have a huge variety. Like we get a lot of 902 Brewing, which is way up in Jersey City. We get like Hackensack, and there's 3-3s in there. And so we have a great variety. And then they just opened a wine outlet by me in Wall. And I went over there, and they're carrying stuff that Wegmans isn't. And so that was nice to see what kind of variety that they had there.
Yeah. It's funny. By me, there's a Route 206 is like one of the main highways that goes near me. And on one corner of Route 206 and one of the like county roads, there are 3 liquor stores, one on each of the 4 corners. And sure, they have all the Sierra Nevadas and whatnot, but one of them will only carry Icarus. The other one only has Source. The
Oh,
other
that's
one only
nice.
has Ashton, which it's kind of funny, but you're still
That way
getting.
they don't compete.
Yeah, they don't compete. So I know like this Home Wines, they always carry Ashton. That's where I got the Czech Dark Lager. Bottle King carried Source, so I got the farmhouse there. So even though I don't think we're not one for good beer.
Yeah. Eric is, I didn't know Source sold in stores because obviously Source is like 15 minutes from my house, but I've never seen them in any stores near me. They must be distributing to places that I can't, like people who can't get to the brewery.
So in terms of the distribution, when all this went down, the distribution was mainly just in-house, and we were just selling it out of the brewery.
Right.
However, as time went on, and we were trying to adapt, to how are we going to be able to sell our beer, and we're producing more and what have you. That's when the distribution map started to expand. And you can see that especially in the past few weeks where you're starting to see, can drops in multiple counties. So like all the way up in we're going all the way up to the Hudson, Bergen, Hunterdon counties, just all over the place.
That's
so
good.
That's more jobs for people. You need drivers.
Absolutely.
Right.
100%. So it's a win-win for everybody because, we're able to, put money in the pockets.
That's exposure too. You want to expose those areas so that when they do come down here for the summer, because that's what they do,
right.
that they maybe make the trip, the little 10-minute detour to come to the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, of course. And then as soon as things open up past this, and Source is doing that, of course, but so are some of the other breweries. Ashton started doing that themselves, and they opened the week of COVID, basically. So, yeah, but but like a lot of these other smaller breweries, like Chimney that I was with yesterday, they started putting stuff out on shelves all over the place too. And some of the more established places that were around for a while, even like I just read that Little Dog, my friend Gretchen down there in Neptune, she's going to be expanding and getting stuff out in packages like all over the state too.
I still want to go there. They're like 5 minutes from me, and the plan was, and then COVID, and then
I mean they're still open. All these breweries are still open. They're selling on prem and off prem, but a lot of them are trying to get out there because post COVID, once everything is kind of free and clear and open up in general, having draft lines back open and having bars and restaurants carrying the product and the liquor stores carrying more of the product, because right now when people do currently get to work from home and things like that, they're more able to go on their lunch break or whatever to go here, go there, pick stuff up. But they're also we still have the delivery options, we still have all these other options, but I think that some of this stuff will change after 2022, after everything is kind of hopefully normalized and everyone's got double shots and everything else, and we're all back to hopefully more normal for the majority of the population. So with that being said, I think that we're setting ourselves up, or the breweries and the distributors and whatnot are setting themselves up for the future, which is dude, we can get good beer fucking everywhere, right? And that really is the goal, right? I mean, I don't want to drive an hour and a half to get a 4-pack from X, or drive 2 hours north to get a 4-pack or a giant Magnum bottle of whatever from Y, or get one off small can release because they only made a stovepipe can release and it was an hour drive. I just want to be able to
special variant.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not a whale chaser, right? There are those people out there that exist, and I'm okay with people who are, but I also like fucking drinking beer, right? So I want to be able to try everything, and I want to be able to get it easily. So if I happen to be passing a place, hell yeah, bring it on. Let's do this, right? But there's no reason, in my opinion, to I think it's great that breweries are expanding the way they're doing things and changing and adapting and modifying. I also think it's awesome that places like the places not like, but places are perfect, honing in and perfecting their craft and re-releasing things over and over.
It's
Like,
the time to do it because there's no time but now, and other things have slowed down, so they're able to focus on new avenues.
Yeah.
Do we think that home delivery is going to still be a thing after things normalize, or?
Depends on the brewery, I think.
No, it depends on the state of New Jersey.
Yeah,
and as someone who knows how the state of New Jersey goes, I have no fucking clue because like that's exactly what they do to everyone with everything, right? So the government sometimes doesn't even know what they're tripping over their own legs, and they're just trying to like get ahead of all this stuff. Home delivery.
They can't get ahead of it.
Oh no, for sure they can't. But like home delivery, like it is a logistical, like complex algorithm that every brewery is doing differently in their own space to figure out, oh, this brewery says, order on these days. This one says order a week ahead of time. This one says
changing all the time to make it.
And if you don't get your order in by noon, you're done. Forget it.
I mean, everyone has a different thing. I took delivery once because I was like, this is too much work. Like, and I know I'm friends with the guys that delivered it, and I'm like, dude, like, this is so much work. But he's like, yeah, they had to call me 3 times to make sure I wanted what I wanted. I'm like, I ordered what I wanted, and like but it was because they wanted to make sure, and if I wasn't home, they wouldn't deliver it. Like there's like a lot, because it's like you have to be home because you need to accept it. I can't have a 9-year-old accepting my beer order, and he's not wrong, right? So
I was 9 and I bought cigarettes for my mom years ago.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I just bought a very expensive electric bike, and it was supposed to be delivered with signature, and they just left it.
I totally. Yeah, exactly. I get stuff all the time. It's like it's supposed to be, signed. Oh, my wife's phone, it died. She got a new one in the mail, and they were like,
they definitely have to sign.
Oh yeah, we signed all right. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Mike. And he threw me the box from 25 feet away. I'm like, touchdown. Like, bro, like what the fuck?
This lady rang the doorbell and just walked away.
Yeah, but like that was their version of signing, right? I don't know. Yeah. But like that's the crazy part. We don't know what's going to happen after all this. What we do know is that take advantage of everything we have while we have it, because while we have the ability to, do delivery from bars, do delivery from liquor stores, like that existed before, right? But like now it's liquor stores are making it way easier, right?
I don't ever remember when you could get cocktails to go.
Right? No. I mean, that didn't exist ever, right? But they weren't they were the same. They're basically the same thing as a growler, right? So a growler is an open container that they close with tape, right? So like it's I know, right? So a cocktail to go is an open container they close with tape. It's the same thing, right? There's a restaurant by my house that they're like, oh, we're selling 12 packs of cocktails to go. I'm like, why don't you all just put it in a big ass carboy? Wouldn't that be easier? Or like and just put a bung on top and move on, right? But like the crazy part is like, everyone mid-pandemic, everyone was just dealing with that, right? It's trying to figure it out. But like now that they're down, like the restaurants, some of them are like, oh, we're not delivering anything, and we're using third parties. So if you want to have cocktails to go, then you have to come buy it, because third parties can't deliver, Postmates, Uber Eats, etc. They can't deliver alcohol legally because they're not part of the thing, but only those Drizzlies and other like delivery services that are licensed can. But Tavor. But like they're all, it's interesting, and then every state is different, right? I don't know if you guys tuned in last week, but I was talking to John from Ross Brewing, and he mentioned how in New York, where they have a wholesale distro, he's able to sell anywhere in the state of New York, shipping beer to New York brands, to New York consumers in like a 1 or 2 day shipping, whatever it is. but you can't do that in New Jersey. So,
And that's
Good old
crazy.
New Jersey.
and it's like, what? But
They make a good lager.
They do. It's very good. And then you can't in New Jersey. You could sell and ship to Pennsylvania if you have a distro license in Pennsylvania.
Kane is like the only one I think that's doing that, right?
Ship Bottom also, but I don't know if they're actually delivering because they
But
have
aren't
a
they also
space in
brewing
PA.
in PA? Yeah.
They brew in PA and they have an outpost in PA. PA is different laws. You can have a brewery anywhere. It's like Massachusetts. You can have a brewery anywhere. Like literally, you can have a brewery in your backyard in a shed. It's crazy. But and you can buy weed. But that's a whole nother story. I think we can buy weed here soon, right? Is that the next thing?
You can carry for sure.
Yeah. It's just a very interesting world we're in, and I actually I think it's on the beer side of things. I think it's getting better. I think all these things that have changed, there's improvement. I do think from what I keep going back to it, but the beer is so much better than it was a year ago.
Yeah.
Like every single thing I've had, there's never been a drain pour. There's never been from anything that I've had. And it's like, it might not be my style. Fuck Untapped. We love and hate it, right? But at the same time, I would never give something a 1 star because I don't like saisons, but I also won't give it a 5 star because I don't like saisons. But at the same time, I think that the beer itself, the beers are well made, and they're really the flaws that people have worked out are really great. It sucks that they're not able to experiment as much, but I totally get why, right? Some of the breweries that have a massive amount of
breweries. The number of breweries is making everybody have to be better.
Oh, without a doubt. But I think it's also pretty cool to everything is packaged right now, right? I think that for consumers, it's so much easier to be able to find a good product, and if you don't like it, cool. You don't have to like everything, right? I don't like every single beer I've ever had. It doesn't mean it's a bad beer, right? And it's pretty fun. I think it's fun. I think these kind of conversations are fun too.
Right. But when you have them in real space.
But I think, soon enough we're gonna get back to the real thing.
Warm weather.
Yeah.
Well, I love going to breweries, and I've got 2 small kids, so I know a lot of people don't like, there's that kid debate at breweries, but I've been taking my son, who's 3, to breweries since he was 3 weeks old, and we just love it. We love the environment. It's very welcoming. We love the people at breweries, and I feel like since we've been taking our kids there since they were born, they know the rules.
Yeah.
I'm just really looking forward to breweries opening it back up to families. That stuff has been keeping me, unfortunately, not able to go as often as I used to and as often as I like. But as the summer is approaching, I plan on taking my Friday afternoons off and hitting up some breweries. So I'm always on the NJCB page looking for brewery friends willing to travel. So if you ever see me on there looking to, make new brewery friends and meet up, hit me up.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the reason that the breweries, just to be fair to them, even restaurants are like this, the ridiculous COVID compliance of percentages, it makes it hard. But I do know a bunch of breweries that do family hours and stuff like that. So when you're
now allowing kids too. So you can't run around though, which is fine. I'll just strap mine in.
Yeah. See, when you have kids that don't listen to a word you say because they're rebellious and whatever age,
then those kids can't go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's exactly that's why I try not to bring mine, because they don't listen to a word I say. But if it's family hours and they can run around the park lot, that's fine. I don't care.
Right.
But safely, of course.
Sure.
Not in traffic, right? But in an enclosed parking lot, that's fine. No, but it's really cool. So yeah, I do encourage everybody to, use the Facebook group, which this is currently being broadcasted to like get out and do stuff and meet people and like, post all that stuff. And
Who is VI? Someone said VI has allowed kids since we reopened.
I'm assuming it is Village Idiot in
where
Mount
are
Holly.
they?
In Mount
Oh,
Holly.
Mount Holly. Okay, I know where that is.
They're a nice little. That's a nice brewery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you can have pizza delivered, or you could walk the 100 steps across the street to get pizza for everyone too. Actually, excuse me, I'm choking on my own water.
Thank you.
Dave from Village Idiot, he will be on one of our upcoming home brewers turned pro brewers, like guys who met through NJCB who became whatever in the beer space industry. I have a live conversation coming up with one of the guests on that one coming up, and he's the main guy there at Village Idiot.
Is Jan from Jersey Cyclone going to be on that one too?
Yeah. Jan will be on that. Jan will be on, and maybe Brian too. Who knows? And oh my gosh, drawing a blank. Matt from Bradley will be joining us on that one, and Carl, who is in the MASH Homebrew Club, as well as he's done a lot of home brewing, pro brewing stuff at different breweries around, and so technically he's like a dude who helps with a lot of different things. So there's a lot of, it could be cool. I've been, and I encourage, everyone listening to tune into these kind of things again, yeah. What else you guys got for us out there? Anything else? Who's commenting? We got all these non-people commenting with all these Facebook users.
Secret identities.
Yep. No, but thank you all for tuning in. Before we depart from this little live journey, maybe y'all can give each, say again, Rob, like say who you are, and if you want to get people to get in touch, how they can find you on social, and we'll pass it down.
Sure. All right. Rob Bedford. My beer blog is thetaptakeover.com. Rob H. Bedford on Twitter. Rob HB on Untapped. Rob H. Bed on Instagram. It's all beer stuff. Hopefully, I'll be going over to Jersey Cyclone for their 1-year anniversary party if they have it in a month and a half. So.
Yeah. Oh, and Jersey Cyclone just posted they're doing like a double can release this weekend. I think
Polish Pilsner.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nostrovia. I think I'm gonna try to get over there because why not?
Yeah.
You got a great follow there, Rob, from Facebook user who didn't authenticate.
Oh boy. Thank you, Facebook follow.
All right, Leigh, you're up.
Sure. So again, my name is Leah, and I run a candle company called Craft Brew Candle Co. You can find us at craftbrewcandleco.com, as well as follow us on Instagram. We do awesome stuff, and we just love to highlight all the great artwork that all the great breweries do in the New Jersey and tri-state area, mainly New Jersey. We are at craftbrewcandleco.com. Don't forget, you can use at any time our discount code on our website, 15% off, NJCB. It's a secret, members only.
Look at that.
Cheers, everybody.
We like discount codes.
Follow.
Yes. Eric, I have a beer with a candle with your name on it. I can show you that later.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Now you're up, Eric.
All right, awesome. So again, I'm Eric. I'm beer tender and Cicerone certified beer server at Source Farmhouse Brewing in Colts Neck, New Jersey. Unlike Lee and Rob, I don't have really cool social media addresses. If you want to be my friend on Untapped, my username is Duffman87. We'll check in some beers, comment, toast, all that good stuff. This is really great, and it was great chatting with you guys. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks
everyone.
Thank you, Mike.
For having me.
We will see you all next time.
Cool beans.
Stay tuned, everyone.